Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. In today's One Piece Treasure Cruise video we are going to showcase 6 different teams versus the normal boss for the new Kizuna versus the Straw Hat Pirates. And some important information to know about my teams: all of them can clear over level 30, and on top of that the first team versus each variation will be using the new Kizuna legend, the Tobi Roppo, as friend captain to maximize tickets and super boss tokens. So without further ado, let's challenge the new Kizuna. Team 1 versus the Dex variation will be using Queen as captain, with friend captain the new Tobi Roppo legend of course. For after level 30 you are going to need to remove 3 turns of special limit for this team to work, and the limit break ability is present on our Queen, Jack and our friend captain. If they are simply all just limit broken, you can remove it without upgrading their abilities. Something else we need is a color affinity boosting support for the final stage, so Tobi Roppo can provide an attack boost and a chain boost. I am using Legend Moria in this case. And in stage number 2 we are going to activate Queen's special to remove defense up, get a color affinity boost for our friend captain, end of turn damage to help beating Nami through resilience, and we will manipulate all of the right column slots into matching as well. So then you attack, ending on your friend captain, and the end of turn damage will do the rest. Our unit placements are also very important, so we can maximize Wano slots in the final stage. We want our 2 strength units in the middle row so they can get a guaranteed Wano slot, and 6 plus V2 Kaido in the bottom left spot. Our color affinity boosting support will activate, and what we want to do first is activate the super type of our friend captain. That way the right column units will get a guaranteed Wano slot, and then we are going to activate their special so we can reduce damage reduction, get a chain boost and an attack boost which can survive through intimidation because we have a color affinity boost, and we also applied increased damage taken to the enemies. We also increased the damage output for our Wano slots. Now we want to activate Jack to reduce the enemy's damage reduction further and apply chain boundaries to our crew. Then Okiku to completely remove the damage reduction and get an ore boost for everyone. And then Doflamingo, who, because we have an attack boost and an ore boost already, will provide a chain boost and a base attack boost for everyone. Finally, we want to activate 6 plus V2 Kaido, who, because the enemy has increased damage taken already, can provide us with a conditional attack boost against it for maximum damage. We attack, break the barrier, and even with our friend captain not having a matching slot, we clear the quest. Team number 2 versus the Dex variation will be using Alber as captain, and our friend captain will be the new anniversary Blackbeard. To deal with the special limit after level 30, we have 5 plus Kizuna Kaido, who can remove 2 turns of it, and Legend Killer, who can also remove 1 or more turns of it, so we're good to go. And it is important to use the Dawn Krieg ship at the base maximum level, level 10, to deal with resilience in stage 2. What we want to do here first is activate the super class of our friend captain Blackbeard to remove the enemy's defense up and apply 6 turns of damage reduction. Then we want to activate Kaido, who will manipulate his block slot to Wano, so might as well have him in the right column, and he will also provide an attack boost and an ore boost to everyone. Something that I also made a mistake with in this run: I confused the variations and I thought that Wano slots were treated with less of a multiplier in this one, but it's not the correct variation for that, so I did not want to give Alber's Wano slot to everyone, but it is something you should actually do to maximize damage. So do not activate his super type in stage 2, Kaido's damage is more than enough to help you out, just defeat the enemy, the ship's end of turn damage will take care of the 1 HP remaining because of resilience, and then we proceed in the final stage. What you want to do versus Robin and Jinbe is activate Vasco Shot first. Because the enemies have high turns of damage reduction, he will provide us with chain boundaries, and he's also extremely important to the team in general because he provides Blackbeard with super class access to deal with defense up in stage 2. Because he manipulates slots, the interruption activates and all of them will become block. That is absolutely fine. We want to activate Blackbeard now, who will apply increased damage taken, make the block slots empty and provide an ore boost for everyone. then we activate Killer to get a color affinity boost, then Bez, who gives us an attack boost which can survive through intimidation, and finally you would also want to activate the super type and then the special of Alber for the full board of Wano slots and more boosting. Team 1 versus the strength variation will be using 6+ Sugar as captain with the new legend as friend captain. It is noteworthy that this team cannot deal with fear after level 30 in the final stage, but I also don't think it is necessary to do so. Kizuna rare recruit treble is actually pretty important and we need to have a full driven him just for him to remove the 6 turns of defense up after 30. In stage number 2, first thing we want to do is activate Akainus special, and he will provide us with a full board of Q slots which will become Wano because of our friend captain ability. He will provide a chain lock for us to ignore the chain debuff which can survive through intimidation, and then we are going to activate his versus ability to apply ignited status to Frankie and also gain a conditional attack boost against it. Then I will super swap Barto to Hakuba, which is not that important, you can just enter on Hakuba, but activating the special on the Q side is important, and Hakuba will also provide an attack boost for everyone and remove threshold completely. Then we attack, ending on our friend captain for maximum damage to easily beat Frankie and proceed to face Robin and Jimbo. Have in mind the chain debuff will follow us to the final stage since it is applied for 3 turns and not 2 or less. What we want to do first is activate Alber. He will provide us with a color affinity boost, which is very important to have before activating the Tobi Roppo, so they can actually provide us with an attack boost and a chain boost for 2 turns instead. Then we activate Treble to deal with the defense up even after 30, and provide chain boundaries to our team to help us ignore the chain debuff. After that, we activate Sugar's super type to gain an ore boost for all of the toy bears, which will of course create with her special that comes after, and we only want to turn our crewmates into toy bears, not our friend captain. We activate the friend captain super type now to get the guaranteed full board of Wano slots and to also apply increased damage taken to the enemies, and then their special, which will provide us with an increased damage output for our Wano slots, an attack boost, a chain boost, and we damage the enemy, which means an interruption activates, removing their damage nullification and applying pain and increased damage taken to our team, which does not matter because we will tap our friend captain then Sugar and the enemy is defeated. Team 2 versus the strength variation will be using Super Tandem Low as captain, and our friend captain will be the New Year Super Sugo Fest unit of Zoro and Sanji, entering on Zoro. We are also going to use Super Sugo Fest Yamato from the New Year Super Sugo, also entering on the deck side. With this team, you need to make certain you can remove increased damage taken after it is applied when we activate a damaging special in the final stage. Yamato has the limit break ability, and fear can also be reduced because of Zoro and Sanji's captain ability. In stage 2, we are going to super swap our Yamato for adjacent matching slots and a Wano slot on her, and we can also activate her EX super to increase our damage output. Make certain you place her under our friend captain so we get more matching slots. We are going to activate Treasure Map Rare Recruit Film Red Zoro after to remove threshold and get a chain lock which will survive intimidation and help us ignore the chain debuff. Then we activate Law's super class for him to get a guaranteed matching slot, and we get 3 turns of a conditional attack boost. Attack with Law first to apply defense down, activate the conditional attack boost, and then with everyone else to easily do enough damage and defeat Frankie, who has surprisingly quite a lot of HP. Getting to the final stage, we will still have Law's conditional attack boost, but it won't be active because there's no defense down to the enemy, but we can guarantee Law a tandem slot, and if we attack with him first, we will apply defense down because there is no immunity against it, and then we can enable the conditional attack boost again for even more damage. Let's activate Treasure Map Rare Recruit Hiyori first to heal, remove blindness, and gain a base attack boost. Then Luffy and Uta to overheal and essentially heal enough with Law's special 2 so we can take a pain hit after our damaging specials because we have 2. We want to activate Law next for even more healing, an attack boost and a chain growth boost. Then we want to super swap Zoro to Sanji for an ore boost to manipulate all of our slots into tandem and gain access to the REX super. Activate that as well, of course, to increase damage, and then their special, they will remove defense up completely, give us a lot of chain boosting and increase the already existing attack and ore boosting buffs. They are the first damaging special, so we will be interrupted. Damage nullification will be exchanged with pain and increased damage taken. Increased damage taken can be removed because of Yamato's limit break ability, and then we activate Yamato to apply increased damage taken, gain a color affinity boost. We survive because of overheal, start your attacking chain with Law and defeat the boss. Team 1 versus the int variation will be using Treasure Map Legend Bone Clay as captain and the new Tobi Roppo Legend as friend captain. Supports are actually pretty important in this team. You need a Luffy support on our free-to-play Sai Sanji. He's also maximum level limit break with double special activation maxed out. We need a color affinity boosting support for the final stage, so the Tobi Roppo can provide us with a 2-turn attack boost and chain boost and not a color affinity boost. And the damage reduction support, I have Mr. 3 and Miss Golden Week on Shirahoshi Mansery, so we can survive the after defeat hit. In stage 2, because of the Luffy support on him, we activate Sanji twice and he can remove the enemy's barrier and damage nullification shield, provide adjacent matching slots and chain boundaries as well. Then we activate Kizuna 5+ Garp to completely remove the enemy's damage reduction, and now we are ready to attack. Attack based on slots, build up your chain a bit, end it on the Tobi Roppo because they have color advantage and they can do maximum damage versus Brook to easily defeat him. Garp needs to be able to remove increased damage taken, the 2 turns of it, and Jack can resist fear if limit broken plus, but that is not important. What is important is that he provides our friend captain with super type access. Make certain you enter the quest on Mansery, so they get special cooldown reduction. Mr. 3 and Miss Golden Week activate, giving us a damage reduction shield, and then we activate Mansery to remove the slot debuff, and our slots can have a good damage output, which I think is necessary so we can get the slot buff from the Tobi Roppo, but I am not 100% certain. You can test it if you missed the unit. We want to activate Jack after for an ore boost, and then Bone Clay's special for the full board of matching slots and the 2 turns of a base attack boost for everyone, and we want to make him a Sai, Free Spirit and Powerhouse unit. He will get the boosting from Jack and the Tobi Roppo because he's Powerhouse, and from Vivi support because he's Free Spirit. That is Treasure Map Rare Recruit Vivi support on him, by the way, for the color affinity boosting. We can activate his super type for increased damage from Sai units. We do get a chain lock, but it is only for 1 turn, while the chain boosting from the Tobi Roppo is for 2 turns, which is fine. We have enough damage in turn 1. And finally, we activate the super type and then the special of the Tobi Roppo to remove damage reduction, get a 2-turn attack boost and chain boost, increase the damage output of our Wano slots, get Wano slots, and apply increased damage taken to Robin and Jinbe. We start with Shirahoshi Mansery, then everyone else attacking with color advantage to super easily defeat the enemy for 1 turn. We survive the after defeat hit because of our damage reduction shield, and now that they revive to 40% of their original HP, without taking any action, we can simply enough just take them out again by attacking based on slots. Team 2 versus the int variation will be using 6+ V1 Yamato as captain and 6-star Gear 5 Luffy as friend captain. Important things for this team: it cannot deal with fear, but it doesn't really matter. We need to deal with increased damage taken though, and the unit that has the limit break ability to do so is versus Shanks. His versus ability won't be that important. For our dual unit, make certain you enter on Luffy so we can swap to the Sai side, Sanji, in stage 2. And because Gear 5 Luffy in his Gear 5 form won't allow us to get a damage reduction shield or threshold, we just need to survive the damage with overheal. We swap to Sanji in stage 2, we activate him, we get the full board of guaranteed RCV slots, the attack boost and the overheal. Then we activate Uta to make her captain to allow overheal in general and also gain her unique effect. And finally we activate Luffy's EX Super, so we can ignore Brook's defensive effects, his barrier, damage reduction and damage nullification shield. Defeat him here in one turn, make sure you consume as many RCV slots as possible so we heal even more, which will of course make it easier to survive the after defeat hit from Robin and Jimbe. In the final stage now, we want to allow Yamato to become captain again, and we are going to achieve that by activating Uta's superclass first. We will get more healing from that, and we will also delay the enemies through immunity, enabling her conditional attack boost. Her unique effect also provided us with an attack boost. Press yes to disable the captain switch, Yamato is back in the captain position, and now we want to activate Gear 5 Luffy's special to get a Color Affinity boost and an Ore boost because we are in his Gear 5 form. Important to have super bomb slots by the end of this as well, so we can avoid the slot debuff for the lower damage output of essentially every slot after level 30, except super bomb of course. So here we activate Kid to do just that because we obtain the full board of super bomb slots. The threshold he applies does not count for the damage reduction because of Gear 5 Luffy's captain ability. We then activate Yamato to apply increased damage taken and get a chain boost, and of course gain access to her super type, which we also want to activate to lock our slots to super bomb, increase the damage output for our Psy units and gain a multiplicative chain boost. Because of Gear 5 Luffy we ignore their damage reduction as well, we can one-shot them, survive the after defeat hit because of all of the healing we did, and now because of Gear 5's captain ability, Shanks will also regain his special and ignore special rewind. We can remove fear, which is fine, we still have super bomb slots, which are neutral though because Kid doesn't have access to his sailor ability. We activate Shanks for a base attack boost, and alongside the conditional attack boost and the normal attack boost, we can easily defeat the enemy. And these are my 6 different teams for the new normal boss in Kizuna versus the Straw Hat Pirates. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comments down below, I will do my best to help out. But if you found this video helpful or enjoyable, I would really appreciate it if you left a like, it helps out the channel a lot. Subscribe for the Super Boss teams and also more One Piece Treasure Cruise content. And as always, thank you so much for watching, take care, and I'll see you in the next one.